What's up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm your favorite fairy godmother, Ryan Bailey, and if you're new here, click the subscribe button because I know you're gonna want to anyway. Y'all, let's spill this tea. I am 23 now, and I do not want to keep repeating the same cycles and treatments in my life. So today in this week's video, I sat down, I created a list of habits that I'm quitting and a list of habits that I'm keeping all 2026. To keep this video very straightforward and kind of cutthroat, I want to talk about why I feel like I need to create this list of habits that I want to leave in the past and habits that I want to keep moving forward and implementing into my life. The biggest reason why I wanted to do this is because this is a journey. Because being 23 means I am now like really stepping into my adulthood journey, and with my whole content creation, you know, being something that I really want to continue to move forward with, I feel like it would be a great way to hold myself accountable, to sit down and to tell not only you, to really like beat it into my brain that these are habits that we're leaving in the past and habits that I want to continue in a healthy way to keep me going. One of the biggest habits I want to leave in the past and stop implementing into my life is abandoning consistency. This is a big one for me that I have been kind of analyzing. I sat down with myself and I really wanted to see, you know, why do I always, you know, really get consistent and then I stop. I have all this momentum and then I stop. Going into 2026, I really did want to start being consistent, not only in my content creation world, but in my personal life. Consistency not just in making videos, consistency in eating right, working out, getting my steps in, drinking water, practicing daily gratitude, sleeping 8 hours a day, controlling and really being intentional with the things that I'm consuming, whether that is YouTube videos, TikToks, Reels, whatever form of content that I am consuming. I really want to myself accountable on being consistent, you know, coming into the new year and really analyzing everything that I am consuming. It's definitely been weary thing I want to leave in the past and cut out of my life, because being a content creator, being a full-time worker, trying to live life as a 23-year-old is very overwhelming, but I understand that in order to be who I want to be, in order to live the life I want to live, I have to show up for myself. I have to be consistent. I have to do the things I don't want to do, and I have to actually sit down with myself and realize I want things in my life, and if I am not consistent, it doesn't mean I have to be perfect, I have to know it all. If I'm not consistent, I'm not showing up for myself and I'm losing trust within myself. I feel like, as I'm such a perfectionist, I want it to be perfect. I want everything to be amazing. I am so stuck on having this perfect aesthetic, whatever the case may be. Is like, if I give 2%, that's better than giving 0. If I give 4%, that's better than giving 0. Like, I need to come to the realization that I need to be able to give and do the things I say I want to do to build trust within myself, so I'm able to, you know, like be like, I can do this, you know, like I can do this, you know, I did it today and I didn't want to, you know, I shut up for myself. Whatever the case may be, is I really want to abandon my inconsistency and really gain momentum and understand that I am rebuilding the trust within myself when I show up for myself. When I do the things I say I'm gonna do, I'm rebuilding trust in myself to create discipline, to create action, you know what I'm saying? As a 23-year-old, I think one of the biggest things that I really want to cut out in order to step into the version of myself I want to be, to really embody the woman I am becoming, is I need to stop comparing myself to others. This is a big, I guess, not really habit, but just human instinct to sit and compare yourselves to your peers, people you see online, your family, celebrities, whoever, you know. These are feelings, but if you let them consume you, it can become very bad, and it can actually like really break your self-esteem and your self-worth. And my biggest thing with comparing myself to others is I feel like, and I know a lot of people feel like this, you know, we're all 20s, we're all dealing with so much going on in the world right now. Like, I know we're all lost. Like, we're all lost in this world. I feel like comparing myself to other people is in a sense very, very useless, but you see people and you think, oh, like they must have it all figured out, or they have this and I don't. And my biggest thing when it comes to comparing myself with other people is I feel like other people have things figured out. Other people are so confident within themselves, and let me elaborate with when I say that. And I just feel like people just know what they want. People are so self-sufficient that they just know what they want, when in reality we're all figuring this out. Every single day things are changing. I need to sit and realize I am who I am where I need to be. I continue to make the active decisions to be a better person for myself with intention. I will get that. And those are the steps into being self-sufficient, into being confident in my decisions, into knowing what I want. You know, if I'm sitting here comparing myself to others and just wasting my time scrolling on TikTok, seeing all these influencers, seeing all these people, you know, living their best life, I'm just doing that. You know, I'm not helping my situation. You know, I'm not doing anything to better my situation or to better myself. You know, they are not me and I am not them, and that's fine. You know, that's like the biggest thing. And the biggest habit I want to leave in the past, in my old self, is waiting until I feel ready or feel perfect. This is a big one for me. This kind of ties into the whole consistency. There is no such thing as a perfect time. Being ready, because being ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. You know, you ask somebody, are you ready? You don't ask somebody like, oh, are you feeling ready? Like, you don't do that. You ask someone, are they ready? My biggest thing is I have to take what I have right now in my life, implement it in ways to get me to where I need to be, right? I need to take all of the tools that I have in my life, analyze them, see what I have, and use them to create, period. End of discussion. Like, there is no like other thing. Like, and that is something I need to constantly tell myself. You know, I go through these roller coasters of emotions of just not feeling ready, not feeling perfect. Like, I actively go through these things every single day, and honestly the days where I'm just like fuck it and I just do, like, I feel 10 times more better than like on days where I have to prepare myself, or days where I have to feel ready, you know. Like, I just don't feel like there is a such thing, and I need to just beat these things into my brain that I have to be consistent and I have to just show up. If I show up as is, I did my part. I did the hard part. I don't have. Like, it's basically saying I'm not good enough. You know, it's basically telling myself, oh, you're not good enough right now. You need to wait until you're good enough. Shout out Everything for 20 for sponsoring this week's video. Video is sponsored by everything420.com. Everything 420 is an online smoke shop brand that focuses on high quality, originality, inexpensive smoking and gardening materials for all my stoner besties out there. It has all my favorite smoking and gardening accessories, all for low prices. From Sizzy's brands to Munchy Edibles brand, Everything for 20 is a universal plug and has all your favorite smoking gardening essentials. And if you guys use my discount code Bailey, you guys can receive an additional 15% off plus free shipping on anything over on the Everything for 20 app, linked in the comments down below. To end this video off on a high and positive note, I want to talk about a lot of the habits that I am going to be continuing on to just be, you know, the best version of myself and to show up for myself and to rebuild the trust that I have so deeply broken within myself. Having intentional alone time, prioritizing times in my day to be alone and really check in with myself and see how I'm doing. What am I feeling? To give myself a second, to give myself grace, to really check in with myself, make sure I'm good, really analyze where I've been through the week. We tend to get really caught up in our everyday lives with our family and our friends and our work, so it can be really hard to just take those seconds for me and just give myself, you know, a minute to like sit the fuck down and be like, girl, like, what do we need to do this week? Like, what do we need to feel? Like, do we need to go outside? Do we need to touch some grass? Do we need to film a video? Like, what do I need right now? You know, I feel like I really wanted to start taking myself on solo dates, you know, going outside. Needed a long time, not only to, you know, rebuild my self-trust, but to understand who I am. We're changing every day as humans, you know, we're constantly evolving, or at least I hope. So I need to constantly learn who I am, constantly learn what do I want for myself, constantly learn, you know, who I am going through each era and like healing from each era. So I'm going to implement intentional solo time. A great habit that I have been loving lately is romanticizing my slow mornings. I love a good slow morning. I love being able to relax. I love setting the intention for the day. You know, if I wake up rushed, if I wake up exhausted, if I wake up in a bad mood, if I wake up, you know, and I'm just scrambling on my phone, I'm not setting good intentions for the day. I'm not, you know, lifting up. But I love waking up, taking it slow, making my coffee, going to the gym, you know, taking a nice shower, really getting in tune with myself for the day, because the morning literally sets yourself up for the day. And I love being intentional. I love being slow, romanticizing myself. I love it. I really do, because we only have this one life, and I think people tend to forget that, especially with social media. And of course, I think my favorite habit that I have implemented into my life that I will continue to do moving forward is expressing gratitude. This is something that I had to teach myself. Beyond grateful for everything I have and everything I will have and everything I've done. Something I really prioritize for myself. I prioritize to tell myself I am grateful for everything I have, everything I do, everything I will do, everything that is to come, bad and good. I am 100% grateful. You know, I'm grateful for experiences. I'm grateful just for existence. You know, there's so many things. But also, while being grateful, it does tend to come with of just sometimes wanting more and feeling I deserve more, which is very, very valid. But I just feel like me constantly just remembering, you know, I am grateful and like where I come from is just something that helps keep me grounded, helps me remember who I am. Honestly, if you could just be grateful for your life and who you are, your whole mentality will shift. I promise. You'll see things so much differently once you open your mind to gratitude and peace. Okay, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys give it a big fat thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because I know you're gonna want to anyways. Yeah, I am just a girl on the internet in her 20s trying to figure out this life thing. I will see you guys next week with a brand new video.